So we are going to use this essay, which will be our sample question, and we will develop a structure that will help us to write a high scoring essay. We started by examining how the question structure looks like when it comes to the general tests, and we stated that there are three parts of the essays. We have the first part, which talks about the topic of the letter and also the topic of the question, and also the second part, which is this red side, that shows who we are going to write to, and then the third part, which is talking about what we have to write about, and it's mostly listed in bullet points. So this is the sample question we are going to use, and then we will develop a quick structure, an easy to learn structure that will help us to finish with this particular essay. All right, so let's read through our question. You have recently taken a 2-day course. Write to the course organizer to give your feedback and in your letter give details of the course, say what you liked or disliked about it, and suggest some improvement to the course. So as I stated, the first part, which tells us what you have done, is about the topic of the question, and then this one is to write to the course organizer. So that is the second part, which is about who we are going to write to, and this is the third part, which is give details of the course, say what you like or dislike, and suggest the improvement, is the third part of the question. Now that we know our question and we have seen the parts, what we will do is that we will look at the letter structure that is important for us to use, and then we will fill it in and know exactly what we need to do. So for you to write this essay is very simple. You have to start by saluting the person. So you give a salutation where you address the person, okay? And then you start by writing the purpose of why you want to write this letter, and then you answer the bullet points, okay? So you start with the next paragraph where you write about the first bullet point, you write about the second bullet point, and you write about the third bullet point in different paragraphs. And when you are done, you sign off or you write a subscription. So if you look at this question talks about a 2-day course that you took, okay? So you've taken the course and you want to write to that organizer about the course, and then when you finish, you want to, in your letter, you want to state the details, give the details of the course, you want to say what you like or dislike, and also you want to also suggest some improvement. So if we are putting it into this paragraph, this is how it will look like. Your salutation will remain the same, okay? You don't have to change the salutation. So after the salutation, we said the first paragraph will hold the purpose, okay? And our purpose is to give feedback on the 2-day course, right? So we want to give our feedback. So to give your feedback, that's what we want to do. So the reason we are writing is to give our feedback, okay? So that's why we are writing the letter. And after that, what we notice that we go down to the first paragraph, and then on this next paragraph we write about the first bullet point, and that is about giving details of the course. And we move on to the next one, the third paragraph, which will be about the second bullet point, which say what we like or dislike about the course. Okay, so we are going to say what we like or dislike about the course, and then the fourth paragraph will now write about the third one, which tells us to suggest some improvement to the course. So when we are done, then we sign off. So this is how your essay structure will be. So let's go through it and see how we can write. It's now time for us to start writing our letter. So what we do is that since the salutation and sign off are very simple, to salute a person we can just say dear, or if you know the person we just go. So we deal with the salutation, but our main focus will be on the paragraph 1 to 4. That is where we will focus on and know how to write it, okay? But the salutation and sign off is something simple for us to do. So let's look at how we will greet this particular person. So if you look at this question, we are not writing to a friend, okay? So we are actually writing to a course organizer, and from the rules that we gained when we were examining the question, we stated that when you're not writing the question, you're not writing the letter to a friend, it means that this letter will be a formal letter, okay? So it means you're going to write a formal letter because we are addressing an organizer, a course organizer. So since you're not writing to a friend, then the tone of our letter should be formal. So we don't know the course organizer, all right? So we can use something like sir or madam as the greeting, okay? So let's say we don't know the person, so what we need to do is to use sir or madam to start with our greeting. So we can say dear sir, right? Dear sir or madam. All right, so this is how we start with our greeting. So after greeting the person, the next step is to go straight forward to the purpose of your writing. Why are we writing? So with the purpose of the writing, we understood that the reason we are writing is to give feedback, okay? So we are giving feedback on the course that we actually took. So that is the purpose of our writing. So let's look at how you can write the purpose. I am writing to give you an evaluation of the, let me change this to IELTS, okay? So let me say that you had an IELTS 2 days IELTS course. So I am okay, so I am writing to give you an evaluation of the IELTS course I took at Banda College last weekend, okay? So that is the first thing you write. So after you have after you have saluted a person, you start with your purpose, and then we stated the purpose about when we look at this one, it's about giving feedback. So I am writing to give you an evaluation or a feedback. So instead of writing feedback, we use the word evaluation. So we can see that we don't want to be repeating same words, okay? Evaluation on the IELTS course I took at Banda College last weekend. Right, so after writing the purpose, the next thing to write will be to go through the major details. So we pick the first one, second one, and third one, and we go through it. So the purpose, in the purpose, you state the reason why you are writing in one simple sentence, okay? You can use synonyms or the synonym that you find in the keywords. You can find synonyms of the keywords. So something like a 2-day course, okay, you can just find synonym for that. Because a course, you can find synonym for the word course, okay? So you don't have to repeat it yourself. And for the 3 main paragraphs that we are going to write after we have written the purpose, we will be following the structure and also the guideline that we need to note. First of all, we have to note that in each of the paragraph we need to base on one particular or develop one topic per paragraph, okay? So one topic per paragraph. So if you take this topic, which is about giving detail of the paragraph, it should hold in one particular paragraph. It should be in one particular paragraph. So each topic should be fully developed in one paragraph, okay? So you write about the bullet points in order that they appear. don't start the second one before you start the first one. Okay, start them in order that they appear so that you don't miss it. And also use the keyword from the bullet points or maybe synonyms that make it clear, okay, so that you can write you can have a good writing. And then make sure that you leave a line between each paragraph. Leave one line between each paragraph to create a very clear separation between the paragraphs. So these are some of the simple things that you should note. First of all, one bullet point per one paragraph. And also make sure that you go systematically. So the first one before the second one before the third one, and make sure you are fully developed in each paragraph. Okay, so after that, you make sure that you have left one paragraph in between. So let's look at some of the ideas that we could write in those 3 paragraphs, and then we sign off and we close for this particular lesson. So after the purpose, we move on to the paragraph 2. Okay, so let's say this will be the first paragraph. So the second one will be talking about the details of the course. After the purpose, we take the second paragraph, which will give the details of the course, and that is, we will answer the first bullet point. Okay, so we can write something like this: although there were 10 hours of classes each day, I did not find the days as exhausting as I had feared, because there was a good mix of theory and practical sessions. The different style of teaching from the various tutors also helped to keep everyone engaged and motivated. So you give details of the course. We said it was a 10-hour course. Okay, so you try to be specific, and also look at the tenses, because it's it somehow mixed with past, and also someone made it past. You can see I said did. All right, so did not, had. All right, so it shows that it is in the past tense. Okay, so sometimes you should know the tenses that you are using. It doesn't matter, you have to make sure that your grammatical expressions are right. Now let's move on to the paragraph 3, where we answer the second bullet point. So this will be our third paragraph, where we are going to answer the second bullet point. We are going to say what we liked or disliked about the course. Okay, so that is exactly what you're going to. So you can write something like this: I particularly enjoyed the group work, as I learned a lot from the other students and had fun doing the activities with them. Changing the groups around each time so that we worked with different people was a great idea. There were also excellent handouts from all the sessions. Okay, so you can see that we maintain one idea per paragraph, and it's very important, and make sure you go systematically. Now we go on to the last one, where it will be in paragraph 4, and we will answer the third bullet point. Finally, in the paragraph 4, what you do is that we will answer the third point, which is the third bullet point, which tells us to suggest some improvement to the course. So we can write something like this: my only criticism, remember we are suggesting improvement, so it has to be that something we were not actually okay with. So my only criticism of the course is the lack of time given for the individual teaching practices. We had to do each day. I do understand that with 20 people on the course, they did take up a lot of time, but 2 minutes per presentation was not long enough to practice all we had learned. Addressing this issue will make an excellent course even better. So that is it. After you are done with it, what you need to do is that you will write your subscription, or you will sign off, and that will be all. When you are finishing with your essay and you are signing off, okay, so this is the sign off. When you are signing off, there is one important thing that you should note is the type of test or type of letter you are writing. And in this form, we know we are writing a formal letter. Okay, so if you're writing a formal letter, there are two things you should note with a sign off. If you know the name of the person, okay, if you know the name of the person, you sign off by writing yours sincerely. Okay, and then when you don't know the name of the person, just write yours faithfully. Okay, if you don't know the name of the person, write yours faithfully, and if you know the name of the person, write yours sincerely. So in this case that we don't know the name of the person, we just have to write yours faithfully, and after that you write your full name. Okay, don't write your first name alone, make sure you write your name in full, and that will be all. So I'm going to combine all the write-up, and then we look at how it looked like. Okay, so we will just examine how the finished tests look like. Now let's read through. It's a question that tells you that you have recently taken a 2-day course. Write to the course organizer to give your feedback, and then in your letter give details of the course. Say what you like or dislike about it, and suggest some improvements to the course. Let's read. Dear Sir, I'm writing to give you an evaluation of the IELTS course I took at Bandap College last weekend. Although there were 10 hours of classes each day, I did not find the days as exhausting as I had feared, because there was a good mix of theory and practical sessions. The different styles of teaching from the various tutors also helped me to help to keep everyone engaged and motivated. I particularly enjoyed the group work, as I learned a lot from the other students and had fun doing the activities with them. Changing the groups around each time so that we work with different people was a great idea. There were also excellent handouts from all the teachers, from all the sessions. My only criticism of the course is the lack of time given for the individual teaching practices we had to do each day. I do understand that with 20 people on the course, they did take up a lot of time, but 2 minutes per presentation was not long enough to practice all that we have learned. Addressing this issue would make an excellent course even better. Yours faithfully, Gifty Beidou. So this complete essay is 189 words, which shows that you don't need more elaborated words to finish up with 150 words. Okay, what you need is to make sure you structure your essay well and you follow the steps that we have taught you. So this is all that we learned today. We've been able to cover how to write your essay or how to structure your essay. I would urge you to continue to work with it, and I believe it will help you a lot. Alright, we will end here, and I'll meet you in your next lesson.